Hello Sagittarius, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the current energy for the sign of Sagittarius for the week of July 25th. Now Sagittarius, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. Let's go ahead and get a shuffle in here for you, Sagittarius. Now I'm using the Gilded Tarot as well as the Fortune Cookie Oracle deck. There are links to all of these decks in the description below. Less than 50% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed, and so if you do watch me regularly but you have not yet hit the subscribe button, please do consider doing that. It really helps my channel grow in a big way. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure we're all set up and in view here, Sagittarius. Looking good, I have to tell you, looking good. Go ahead and put this up there, and then we'll also take 1, 2, 3 of these oracle cards to clarify as we go along. All right. So Sagittarius, rarely in these, I do, if this is the first time you're watching me, it's just called a pyramid spread. It's what I call it. We move up the pyramid here, but rarely in these pyramid spreads are the first 5 cards this positive. And so, you know, I think some of you have, and this might not have happened yesterday, this might not have happened last month, this might have been a few months ago or maybe even a year ago or something, but you've recently made a move for some of you may have moved somewhere. Some of you, if you didn't physically relocate, you have had a new beginning, but it's not just like, oh, you know, I'm going to start eating healthy. No, it's like a powerful new beginning that some of you have had. And this has led to a deeper level of passion. This has led to maybe a deeper level of commitment towards your talents, towards your gifts. And where you're going looks to be just as good, if not better, than what you've been doing here in the past. So we'll talk about this some more and break it down. But in the overall situation, you'd have this 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands, so good. It's one of these cards that can indicate good news coming into your life. The 8 of Wands is like good news that comes in from a distance. It might be phone calls, text messages, emails, letters, what have you. And, you know, it's really this idea of the pace of things in your life sort of accelerating forward. It's motion, it's movement, it's good news generally. You know, the 8 of Wands can also talk about potentially travel, typically travel by air, distance, you know, like a bit of a long distance travel. This is, I feel like, been a focus for some of you here, maybe in the past. I'm not sure exactly where you're headed in terms of travel, but I know recently, you know, and maybe in the maybe in the distant past, recently, like distant past to now, you know, you've been focused on travel, you've been focused on moving, you've been, you know, making moves generally here. And it's possible that, you know, you are receiving some type of good news. I also think that some of you have just like, how do I say this? Like if you're not physically relocating, it's like you're making moves in your life. You know, it's like you're making moves generally. And it's hard for me to say what area of life this is in. This just seems like a general life reading, which sometimes, you know, that happens. We'll get more clarity on what area this might be in, Sagittarius, as we go along. But yeah, making moves, whether it's physically or in some other way, you are making moves here. Now, in the past, you have the Fool and the Knight of Wands. So an amazing combination here to find. The Fool is perhaps the most powerful card. You have the best card in the tarot here from my perspective, the Sun, and a card that I consider to be the most powerful card with the Fool. The reason, you know, the Fool is the most powerful is because it starts off everything. It's the chain reaction. It's number 0. It's the first card in the tarot. It's the beginning of the hero's journey. And you certainly, Sagittarius, you have been on some type of hero's journey here. To get the Fool and the Knight of Wands is no small, you know, message. The Knight of Wands is the biggest card to find if you're looking to physically relocate. It's also one of these cards that I associate with like like if you were to like throw everything in your van and like do a cross country road trip or something like that, like, you know, maybe even take some extended time off to travel, that could certainly come in with the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, though, is also about your talents, your passions, your hobbies, your interests. The Knight of Wands says that you are a Swiss Army knife. You are a jack of all trades. You are a maverick. It is the classic maverick in the tarot. Everybody wants to know the Knight of Wands because the Knight of Wands has so many tricks, so many different experiences, so many different stories to share with their friends and with the people around them because they've experienced a lot, Sagittarius. And it looks like you've experienced a lot here recently, in the distant past to probably now. You've experienced a whole lot with the Fool, the Knight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands. And it's like this is just going to keep building for you. Now, in the future, you have the Sun and the Two of Wands. I mean, can't beat it, right? Can't beat it. The Sun is the best card to find, as I said earlier, in the tarot. I mean, take a look at the gravity that you can see on the card, right? The Sun, the planets revolve around the Sun. And so you have a whole lot of, you have like a personal gravity about you, Sagittarius, that pulls people in. It pulls people in, and people want to laugh with you. People want to get to know you. People want to see you. And the Sun is about expression. It is about being visible or visual. It is about sort of being in the open. And the Sun, you know, this can also just come forward as a card of truth. You know, you living your truth and not allowing anything that is untruthful to, you know, be part of you and your experience and your story. And so you have this here with the Two of Wands. So, you know, you're at this fork in the road potentially, and this is coming up in the distant future. You know, you're at this fork in the road. You're going to have to decide between two wands, two paths, two people, two choices, two decisions. And what this is asking you to do is to pick the truthful path, right? Pick the path that works in alignment with you. And most importantly, the Sun represents total happiness in the tarot. It's the happiest card, presumably, to find. It's a card of joy, of abundance, of celebration. And so not only should you be picking the true path, according to the cards, right? I can't tell you what to do, but also the path that makes you happiest. And recognizing how important it is to be happy at this time. So let's go ahead and get some more messages here. So you have the Death card. You have the Ace of Wands. You have the Three of Cups. And you have the Page of Pentacles. All right, so I really love this for you, okay? There might be somebody else or coming into your circle here if you're looking for somebody. This might come through a friend, okay? This may come through acquaintances, through group situations, and I'm not necessarily sure if this is even romantic, but this person that could be coming in here could have an important offer for you. This could be somebody who's well connected. This could be somebody who connects you to other people. There's something about your network, about your social circle, about your group of friends, about the people you interact with. Here with this Three of Cups, you can see the three friends or the three sisters here dancing on the cups, enjoying themselves. The cups are overflowing. Overflowing cups in tarot are always a good sign. And you have this paired with a Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles, you know, this can bring about an offer into your life. It can bring about good news generally, but really what the Page of Pentacles says is that in life, your prospects are looking good. Okay, your prospects are looking up, your prospects are looking good. This is obviously related to the material side of life. So, you know, is there going to be somebody that comes in that gives you money? I mean, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is this person could, I don't know, get you into, this person could maybe make you aware of a university program or a program of study, or this person could make you aware of an apartment that just went on the market that you've been looking for. You just so happen to be looking for an apartment, there it is, right? Or you've been looking to purchase home, real estate, there it is. Or a car or whatever. Like, this person deals with the material side of life. Also, the Page of Pentacles deals with the academic side of life as well. And along with that, you know, this is somebody who's hardworking. So it's like, you know, there could be an opportunity to leverage your network here in the future for you, showing up. You have the Death card and the Ace of Wands. Been a major transformation in your life. You've physically started something here with the Ace of Wands. That's the best card to find if you want to start something. So like you want to start a business, you want to start a hobby, you want to start a workout routine, you want to move, you want to get a new job. Like this is the spark. This is the catalyst. It starts it off. Just like the Fool. The Ace of Wands starts off is the catalyst of the Wands. The Fool is the catalyst of the Arcana. And so it's like, it's like big energies here in the past, especially with the influence of the Death card, which the Death card is like a big energy of transformation in one's life. So let's go ahead and see what else we have here. Let's take a look at these 3 oracle cards. All right, so you have twists and turns. Carefully made plans could be thrown out the window as major changes and interruptions surround you. Make sure you get lots of rest to cope with all the upheaval. Yep, I mean, again, I don't think this is doom and gloom. You have to take all of these cards into perspective when you read tarot. You really have all good cards here. You have challenges. Take time out from problems or conflicts, or approach softly to avoid making matters worse. Yeah, I mean, sometimes these fortune cookie cards are not so positive, but I really just think that, there's going to be something where I think the twist and turn is a decision point for you showing up, because you have this 2 of Wands. Making a decision, can sometimes be challenging, especially if it's a bigger decision in life. Then you have achievements. Enjoy the limelight, you've earned it. Although on the family front, someone's health could cause some secret worries and sleepless nights. I really don't like this card. Let's see what else we have. Of course, tough and trying times, tough times ahead. Think long term and make decisions accordingly. Avoid negative people at all costs. All right, let's go ahead and move up the pyramid here, because you have an overwhelmingly positive cards. Remember, listen, so in tarot, especially if you want to watch, in my readings, you can choose to not accept any of these cards. Okay, you are in control. You are in control of your destiny. You have free will. Okay, humans have free will. If you don't want to take these oracle cards, then don't take them. Okay, if I'm watching this, I'm not taking them. That's what I'm saying. All right, so you have the 7 of Pentacles, you have the Emperor, and you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, see, really positive energies here showing up in the tarot. I just think that there might be like something that maybe catches you by surprise here in the future. Again, I don't think this is doom and gloom. The majority of the cards here are very, very, very good. And, it's maybe like, wow, I wasn't expecting to meet this person, or, this person gave me a really interesting thing to think about, and now I need to decide, what path to go down. Again, you're going to decide the truthful path for you. You're going to decide the path that makes you actually happy in this lifetime. So you have the 7 of Pentacles here in the past. The 7 of Pentacles is about your long-term situation. It's like, I feel like maybe some of you, like I can speak from personal experience. Like I did like nomad life for a little bit. It was like, I really liked it, but like in my mind, I was like, long-term, this isn't really like the long-term viability for me personally of nomad life. It just didn't seem to work out for me. Some people can do it, but for me, it just seemed like it wasn't working out. And it's like, whatever change has been happening here, involving your talents, passions, maybe even a move, maybe you moved somewhere long term, like this is all because you're playing the long game. This is all because you're looking to set yourself up for success. You want to plant that seed so then in the future it grows into a tree that provides you with a harvest, with pentacles here, as you see on the 7 of Pentacles. Then you have this Emperor as well, which is seen as a good omen to find in the tarot, an omen of success in business. And it is about authority, it is about structure, it is about, in some ways, rigidity, but all of those things amounting to success in one's business life or in one's life generally. You have the Queen of Swords in the future, which is asking you to take an extreme focus on something. Like, don't psych yourself out, but you do have a decision to make here in the future that may require you to obviously have a pretty deep focus on, which path will you go, right? Okay, so you have the Ace of Swords and you have the 7 of Swords. Okay, so you are being called on to build a strategy here, to build a game plan. There is something that's coming in the future. Again, I don't think this is like negative, but I think it's just not going to exactly be what would be considered easy. And the best way to handle this situation, which I think probably is coming in for many of you, is to have a game plan, is to have a strategy in place, to get all your ducks in a row, if you will, and make sure that you are set up. So, you know, I guess I would ask you, like, how are you using your free time, Sagittarius? Like, what are you doing in your downtime, in your free time? Is there something that you can do to prepare for, like, you know, this is a situation where you can't really prepare for it because it hasn't happened yet, but like, are you effectively using your downtime is what I feel like saying here. Reason being is the Seven of Swords can talk about strategy. I don't think anyone's deceiving you. You know, what I would say is just, you know, you should never be making these types of decisions for anyone else. You should always be making these decisions for you. And so don't allow anybody to deceive you. But I think that this is more about your time management, for whatever reason it's coming in to my mind, and like the downtime that you're using. The Ace of Swords, you've clearly been extremely successful here in something. I think it might be related to a move. I also think it might be related to a talent or a passion or a hobby or an interest, something along those lines as well. At the top of the pyramid, you have the Hierophant. So some of you are like, do I take a traditional route or do I take a non-traditional route? The Hierophant would represent the traditional route. So would the Emperor in a way. And, you know, the Hierophant can also talk about anything hierarchical. So like a place that you work, an organization that you're a part of. It's sort of like the old guard. It's the old way of doing something, but more so like the traditional way of doing something. It is a card of marriage as well. The High Priestess, I feel like that would be the more non-traditional way in this case. The High Priestess would be the intuitive path. On the bottom of the deck, you have the King of Cups. King of Cups asks you to take care of yourself. And also there's something here about intuition in determining which path to go down, I think being extremely important for you. So this is exciting. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe. I really appreciate you, and I will see you in the next reading.